guys, and welcome to another episode of the Hidden Review. If you like what you're seeing and you want more consistent content and we know what we're doing, please like this video, hit subscribe if you're feeling a bit fresca, and notification bell if you want to know when these videos come out, because to be honest, by the time I edit it, who knows what day? So you need to know by clicking the notification bell. Today we're going to be talking about the second episode of the second season of House of the Dragon. Full disclosure, I'm going to be honest, guys, I watched it yesterday. So, yeah.
She'll chip in what she can, but she really said to me off camera, you're going to be leading this one today. So I'm like, you know what? Challenge accepted.
Word.
Challenge accepted.
So yeah, we'll start off with a little recap and then we'll get right into our thoughts, feelings and concerns.
So, as the episode starts off, everyone's in a panic. Everyone's running around as the guards are on the manhunt for the assassins who killed little baby Jaehaerys. And as you could obviously predict, Aegon is losing his shit. Him broke up everything, saying, I want their heads, kill them all. He's lost his child, so his feelings are valid, but he's just breaking up everything. And a little fun fact that I found the second time I watched it, he's basically attacking a model of old Valyria that his dad
was building. And I was like, that's so sad, because his dad was spending time, like his little shaky hand was building up that shit. But it kind of is like a little
representation. Yeah,
of like how he's fucking shit, how he's gonna fuck up it, how he's fucking up old Valyria.
Oh yeah.
In order to, do you know what I mean? He's breaking down traditions type thing. But I suppose comes in later. Go on, sorry.
That's it. No, that's cool. So yeah, obviously everything's going mad, everything's going haywire and crazy. And let me check my notes. I've got this all written down.
Oh my goodness, so cute.
I've got notes, man. I've got notes. And obviously then Aemond, he does a bit of detective work because he's just walking around.
See, this is the thing, yeah. When Aemond picked up the coin that he found at the bottom, what was that?
So I thought, because if I'm not mistaken, didn't Daemon give a coin to someone when he was in the camp recruiting the assassins? Or am I bugging?
He gave them a bag of coins.
Yeah.
But what made that an inkling that it was Daemon, or if it did?
Well, in the previous episode, before they killed Jaehaerys, the assassins they scraped some money off the table because they were trying to get like extra money for the job, and apparently that's the one coin they left behind. And I think that was in Aemon's room. So I think that's Aemon's chambers, and because they didn't find him there, that's what led them eventually to Jaehaerys. So I think what it's trying to show...
So that's how they knew that he was the target.
He was the target because he was like, why is my money on the floor? They clearly came into my room.
Yeah, looking for me. But he wasn't there because he was with someone else.
That's it. He was
which will come to later.
He was doing his thing. And then obviously later on, so Otto is trying to console Alicent because obviously she's upset and distraught. But she's kind of like, oh, the gods punish me for what I've done, because, you know what I mean? She was clotting Kristen, so... Yeah,
she was on some I have sinned type shit. And her dad was really like, please save it.
That's it.
His dad was
he's like, I don't want to hear it. Literally.
I don't need to have this conversation with you.
I feel like he knows. He just doesn't want to talk about it with them. Yeah.
But who's trying to hear that?
No one's trying to hear that.
And even... Anyway, we'll come back to that
when
we get to Helena. But crazy.
And then all of them are gathered together. I don't know if it's in Aegon's chambers, but they're just deciding where to go from here, what to do. And Otto decides, why don't we hold like a little public, funeral for Jaehaerys? And Aegon's like, no, I'm not going to have my child dragged through the streets like a dog, But Otto's like, no, we're going to do it to try and sway the public's opinion on Rhaenyra, make her look like she's the villain, which is quite, dastardly, because he's basically, they don't care about their subjects. They're using them as a means to an end.
100%.
Naughty
and he's like trying to get them by making Rhaenyra look like a demon. He's trying to get them on side. And to be fair, like it was interesting because they were making it look like it was the curse of Rhaenyra. Like they were like, oh yeah, this is like a it's like she's putting curses on that land.
Yeah.
And so, like, don't support her as queen.
Yeah,
which, to be fair, I'm not going to lie, that is a very good spin on a very bad situation.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that makes me team green, but I'm just saying that Otto actually, like, for once, I'm actually agreeing with him. Because that's probably what I would have said as well. I would have been like, okay, obviously this is, we should use this as a thing from the opposition. Like, the opposition fucked up, let's do this. Do you know what I mean?
He's twanging the situation.
And also, I think he slyly also knows that it's not Rhaenyra. Like, I think he knows that that's not a Rhaenyra move. And in fact, he's like, well, your team is fucking up. Let's try and, you know.
That's it.
Exactly.
And I like the way that this whole thing is pretty much like a chess set kind of thing. So if you kind of think of it, Luke Harris, who obviously died at the end of season 1, that's a pawn. Jaehaerys now is also another pawn. And later on in the show, we'll explain how there's a few more chess moves being made, but that's going to come up soon. So,
I don't play chess, so I don't know. But
don't worry, I'm going to elaborate. Let me cook. You know what I mean? But anyway, so what happens next is back at Rhaenyra's camp now. They're all together saying, like, what's happened? How did this happen? They're blaming us. Rhaenyra's like, I don't know. Like, obviously she's going to deny the allegations because she didn't do it. But then Damon's just there, sat, looking smug.
Do you know what's crazy yet? Everyone's looking at Rhaenyra on some grieving mother. It could have been you type thing.
Yeah.
Damon is literally there like this.
Just sat back, quiet. Like,
he's like,
and I hope.
This is your literal what? Grandnephew?
Something like that.
Grandnephew?
Family don't mean nothing to these people.
And this man's just there like grinning. And Rhaenyra clocks it. She susses it out. She said, bet.
Yeah.
Later on, they go into their little, I think it was Rhaenyra's chambers?
I think it was Rhaenyra's chambers, yeah.
And she's like, bitch, why the fuck did you do that? Well, but she was like, it was you, innit? Like, why did you do this? You're making it look bad on me. Can I just interject here and say, I hated the blocking of that scene. And I said it out loud when we were watching it.
Did.
I really hated the blocking. Like, it was just, they just weren't doing anything. Like, they weren't doing anything in that scene. They were just walking up and down, and it was very irritating. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, so they're in, not Aegon's, bloody Rhaenyra's chambers, talking, and he's like, I did it. In fact, there was a part where Rhaenyra's like, how could you kill a child? And basically, Daemon is denying hard. Oh, it wasn't meant to be the child. It was meant to be Aemon, but we know, as the audience, we know that sly so-and-so had something to do with Jaehaerys' murder. You know what I mean? We explained it in the last one.
He's just acting like, oh, it's a oopsie, like, do you know what I mean? But do you know what's interesting?
Yeah.
Because Aemond, again, if we're referring back to last episode when you said, you know, he went for an eye, caught a body, right? Manslaughter. Aemond did that exact same thing, technically. And Daemon is making it seem like that was his intention as well. Yeah. But it really wasn't. Like, he was just like, eye for a fucking eye. Like, someone's got to go. Literally. Someone's got to do it. Someone's got to go. And I also think that slyly, Daemon knew that they weren't going to catch Aemond.
You reckon?
I think he knew that. I think he knew in his heart of hearts that either Aemond wouldn't be there or that Aemond wouldn't actually have died.
Oh, so it would have been like
it would have been a fight. Like, he knew that he wouldn't have, you know, just let it happen. Yeah. And I think his actual aim was Jaehaerys.
Okay.
Yeah, I genuinely think so. I think he was like, yeah, kill the heir. Yeah.
Fair.
Lidge.
That's a very good theory. But also, like, in the scene, he's heavily denying it. He was like, my target was Aemond. Rhaenyra's not having it. She's like, you're pathetic. And then he just storms off.
Oh, no, hold on. First of all, before he storms off, he grabs her by the neck. Can we just address the fact that he literally grabbed her by the neck? And also before he storms off, she was like, you're doing all of this because you don't actually want me to be queen.
That's it. I nearly forgot that. What we discussed in the last review. Yeah.
She was literally like, do you even respect me as a queen? Like, do you even rate my thing? And he's like, of course I have. Like, look how much shit I've done for you, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, yeah, are you doing it for me or are you doing it for you? Like, it's not making sense. And also, this is all very weird because they're husband and wife. It wasn't really giving relation, like it wasn't giving like husband and wife. It was actually giving uncle and niece.
Yeah.
And it's just, it really just honed in on the fact that like that they're actually related in that sense.
That's it.
And also, I didn't really feel, it's like in her younger years, it felt like I didn't actually feel like she was in love with Damon and that Damon was in love with her. It felt like a lot of lust.
Yeah.
Like it seemed like a very lustrous relationship. And I think in this, like, as they've progressed and now they're there, it kind of feels like their marriage is strictly political.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Like, it doesn't feel like they actually love each other, which was really interesting. An interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
But yeah, he storms out.
He storms out, and basically we don't really see him for the rest of the episode. As in, you'll see him get on his dragon and then fly off. Even when, I don't know, was it White Worm or someone asked Rhaenyra, do you know where Damon's gone? And she's like, he's maybe gone for a week, maybe he's gone forever. I don't know.
Yeah, and and White Worm was like, he does that.
That's it, yeah.
She was like, yeah, he really do that. But that happens after, that conversation happens after, because Rhaenyra actually frees White Worm.
That's it.
And tells her to like, go.
But then there's going to be an interesting part after that, but we need to build up to it. So now it's the funeral in the streets. Little Jaehaerys, they've sewn his head back on his body. And it's such a sad thing to see. He's literally just going through the streets and the public are all seeing him. But also before this, Helena, his mum, didn't want this to happen. She was like, I want a private mourning service. She wants to like have a private funeral, but Otto's like, no. It's gonna be in the streets. And then Alicent was like, we need to do this as royals.
This is your duty.
It's your duty.
And also she slightly came in and was like, about what you saw in the bedroom. Like, brother,
exactly.
pick a time, bro.
Exactly. Helena's like, I don't want to hear it.
She said, this is for my fucking son.
That's it.
Take it.
Exactly.
Because I don't want to know. I didn't want to talk about you and Kristen Cole's little sexy escapade. My son's dead. My son has died.
Exactly.
And you want to be asking me about what I saw. I saw what I saw. Let's move on.
Crazy.
Okay?
So as the funeral's happening now, Otto's plan is basically starting to work, because you can see the people in the streets are starting to now curse out Rhaenyra's name. This is Rhaenyra's fault. Oh, no, Queen Rhaenyra. I'm paraphrasing, but they're basically cussing out her name.
And they're like really supportive of the Queen, and they're like, "Oh, my Queen, my sorry you're lost."
They're really reaching out to Helena, and that gives her a panic attack. She's not used to it at all. Like, the car has stopped. Like, basically, the wheel gets stuck on something, and they're all reaching out to Helena, and she's like panicking. She's like, "What are you lot doing?" Like, she's not used to this.
And fucking cat. Sorry, go on.
And this is going to be the first missed opportunity of the show, and I'll explain why. Because the carriage is stuck, you can see the casket is wobbling a little bit. We both thought the head was going to fall off.
Sorry, one sec. Hello?
Right.
Sorry.
Where was I? So, the car gets caught on like a little brick or something and it can't move. And we both thought, we saw the casket swaying. We thought the head was going to fall off the body.
Oh my God. If the head had fallen off the body
and rolled down the road or something.
Shit you not, I would have cried of laughter. Because it was, sorry. Not that I'm a bad person or anything yet. But it's just that it was all too much. Like, the carriage was doing
That's it.
I genuinely thought the body was about to patata. The head was about to brum, brum, brum. But they couldn't do it. Like, they couldn't. Like, people would actually be up in arms.
Yeah.
But also, what's very interesting about this, I was watching this like recap video, and they were talking. Somebody commented about how Helena, like, a lot of people are calling Helena a weirdo.
Yeah.
But actually, she predicts things, and apparently she's got the eye of the dragon, so she can see into the future, and so she predicted like certain things, like apparently I think I don't know whether I missed this, but the person that commented said Emmond wouldn't be able to get a dragon until he lost an eye. Oh no, until he closed his eye. That's what she said. And that's why he lost one eye.
Yeah.
And then also another thing that the commenter had said was, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna put the quote here. And then the third thing was about their daughter, not the son, but the daughter, being scared of the rats. Like, remember how we referred to it last time? She was it was a prediction that her daughter would be scared of rats, or like be scared of the rats, and there was no rats there, but that's her, like, that was her prediction, and she was referring to those men that came in and killed her brother. Yeah. So it's actually interesting that Helena comes across as like a little weirdo, but actually she just sees the future. She's got the vision. So and she knew that had she picked her daughter and they found out she lied, they would have all died. Whereas picking him straight away, that's it, done.
That answers my question from last episode. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Which I thought was so interesting. I was like, oh my God. See, this is why you guys should leave comments, because you guys are so smart. But this wasn't on our video, it was on someone else's video. But you should do it anyway, because it's interesting.
So what happened next after that?
So she has a panic attack. The people are reaching out to her. Yeah. We snap back to
with Aegon as he's talking with Otto. And he's saying how before that, Kristen and Arik. So Arik has got his cloak, or his cape, I think it's a cloak. It's dirty at the bottom, and Kristen just comes up to him and goes, "Your cloak's a little bit dirty, mate. Do you not want to get it cleaned up?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. I've had a long journey. I'm just gonna finish my food, and I'm gonna go clean my cloak." And Kristen's like, "Nah, do it now." And they have a whole little argument there and back, and they're both trying to accuse each other of being like a spy or like a traitor to what happened to Jaehaerys.
What's fucking cheeky is that Kristen is saying they're accusing each other. Then Kristen tries to say like, "Oh, where were you at the time of this, and this, blah, 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 blah." And he's like, "Where are you?"
Arik wasn't having it.
Where were you, bro? And where was he? Digging at Alicent. Bro. Instead of being on your post, being on your D, you were like digging out my... What the hell? This is your job.
Crazy times.
This is what you're meant to be doing. But you're here digging out the King Consort.
But at the end of that whole tiff, basically, Kristen goes to Arik, "Why don't you go into the enemy's camp and assassinate Rhaenyra?" And he's like, "How am I supposed to do that? You've got a twin over there. Pretend to be him. No one will know the difference, because they're literally identical twins." And he says, "Yeah, go over there, kill Rhaenyra. Then you'll get your honor back for our whole kingdom." And Arik's like, "You know what? Fair, bet." And then, if I'm not mistaken, it goes to the most important part. Otto and Aegon are in the chambers, and they're kind of having a bit of an argument. Kristen's in the background. And the long story short of that scene is Aegon goes to Otto, "Kristen's done more for me in 1 hour."
The reason why that... Sorry, pause. The reason why they were arguing is because Aegon actually ordered... So when in his findings of finding the man who killed his kid, he actually found the guy with the dog who kicked the dog.
Ban him.
Fuck him, we don't like him. And also he ratted out that it was Daemon that sent him, and also it was one of the rat catchers was his helper. He didn't say which rat catcher it was, or maybe he did, and Aegon was like,
he didn't. He just said it was a rat catcher. Don't know his name.
So then Aegon ordered for all of the rat catchers in the land to be hung. Publicly hung. Because he was like, "Don't know which one of you it is, but it's one of y'all, so y'all all get hung." Which completely undermines everything that Otto had just done. Because Otto had obviously said, you know, let's do this public display and get support from the people. And now Aegon's just gone and hung all the rat catchers. So now it's like one person does wrong, everybody gets it. All the people are now like, fuck, like they're all on edge. And it all stems from that, what would you call him? Foot fetish guy, FFG. It's all because of FFG, FFG. Because he was saying to Aegon, like, don't be weak. And so Aegon was like, I don't want to be a weak king. I'm going to do this shit. Blah, 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 blah. And so he was like, okay, I'm going to instill fear in them.
That's it.
Instead of going with Otto's plan of getting the support for him. Which is where this argument
comes from. My bad, major detail, missed it out. But we continue. So they're having that argument. And basically, Kristen Cole, I think he said maybe off screen to Aegon that I've sent Arik out. And because he's done that, Aegon's gone to Otto. Arik's done more for me. Not Arik, sorry. Kristen's done more for me than you have since I've been the bloody king. So he literally says to Otto, take off your badge and give it to Kristen. Basically removing him as the hand of the king. And back to the chess thing again. Because on Rhaenyra's side now, she's lost what you could maybe say a bishop piece, which is pretty much what Daemon is. And now Aegon's lost his bishop piece, or he's got rid of him to replace him with Kristen Cole. So that's another piece of their set.
Who is removed.
Who is a knight. And now, going on from there, if I'm not mistaken, what happens next?
So after that, we jump back to Rhaenyra's camp.
That's it.
And Rhaenyra's like handmaiden is like, oh, you need to get ready for bed, blah, 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 blah. We have Eric walking up to the thing. And to be fair, like, we already had his twin brother like walking, he had already gone in. Then we had Eric walking up and the guards were like, oh, you just came in. And he was like, oh no, I just went for
one quick detail before, because we forgot to mention. So with White Worm, when we mentioned earlier with White Worm talking with Rhaenyra, she says to Rhaenyra, oh, I'll never betray you. Even though Rhaenyra's like, yeah, whatever, just go on your way. And as she's walking down the hill, she sees Eric walking up. And in her head, she's like, wait, did I not just see you? Because Eric, the twin brother who's on Rhaenyra's side, was in the room while she was talking to Rhaenyra. And she's seen the brother walking up. And she's low-key put two and two together, stops the guard and goes, wait a minute. And then the scene cuts from there.
Yeah, so we assume she's gone back to tell Rhaenyra.
That's it.
But she didn't make it in time. I didn't see her in that last scene. Was she there?
No, I don't think
she did. I don't think she made it back in time.
I think off screen she did alert someone and then they got there in time.
Yeah. But yeah, so Rhaenyra's trying to be in bed. Eric walks in on some, I don't want to do this. He moves out his sword. He's like, I don't want to do it. But I got to do it.
He's got to do.
And she's like, sir, I forgot the name.
She thinks obviously it's Eric.
She thinks it's Eric.
Yeah, Eric and Eric, the twin knights.
So she's like, Sir Eric, and then he starts obviously going after her. Her handmaiden runs to get someone, but obviously White Worm has probably alerted someone by this point. So they've now come in along with Eric. Yeah,
the real one. Who's on Rhaenyra's side. Yeah.
And the twins start battling, and I can't lie to you, I don't know who was who.
You have to watch it really carefully, but you can kind of just about make it out.
And Jay had a very good missed opportunity here.
This is the second missed opportunity now, because at the end of that whole fight, if I'm not mistaken, the real Eric actually killed his brother Eric. No, Eric killed Eric. So confusing. Eric killed Eric. Eric, who is with Rhaenyra, killed Eric. You get me, yeah? Then, after he's killed him, he literally looks at Rhaenyra and goes, I'm so sorry. Acting as if this is all his fault, even though it's really not. And he literally lands on his own sword and kills him. Why is that a missed opportunity? They could have literally written it that it was Eric that really survived, and he's going to pretend to be Eric to later on try and chef Rhaenyra again.
Because they were all confused.
We were all confused. And it could have been a good thing that we, as the audience, didn't know until maybe like another episode down the line.
Oh, yeah, facts.
That could have been a juicy little tidbit that they missed out on. Killing them both. And it relates back to the chess pieces again. 2 knights have now been gone off the board.
Oh, you're right. Babe.
Chess theme. There's a whole chess theme going on.
You're right. I didn't know that. But yeah, that's the end of the...
There's a few more bits. There's Aegon, who is crying. He's in the room. I'll tell you why Alicent is a shit mum. Her boy is crying in the room over his own son, yeah. And she literally opens the door, sees that he's crying, doesn't say anything. That is a son who needs his mother to console him. That's what mothers do, if you're a good mum anyway.
She did.
And then she literally dips to go skin out Kristen Cole again, after she thought it was her fault for skinning out for him in the first place, and this whole thing happened. And you go and do it again.
She's such a wrong. Dirty Jankro. She's such a wrong one. Like, she's actually such a wrong one.
And that's pretty much the end of the episode.
Yeah. So thoughts?
I can't think of what's going to happen next. I feel like Daemon is going to rock up to the castle or something.
Oh, and then, sorry, Corlys.
Corliss.
Who is that guy? Who was the black guy that joined?
That's the thing.
I don't know. I don't know.
I
don't know much about them. So if you know about them, let us know in the comments, because I don't really understand that dynamic and what's going on there. However, one of the predictions that I have is that Renee Riss, the auntie, who's with Corliss. I feel like she's going to begin conspiring against them.
As in conspiring against Rhaenyra?
Yeah. Because her and her husband, Lord Corliss, were having a conversation in bed, and they were very much talking about like, I don't really know what's going on. It looks like shit is about to like break off. Yeah. And it just seems like that whole camp are building up, and I feel like she's gonna try and come for the throne at some point.
Shit.
I do. So that's one of my thoughts for going forward. I really, at this point, personally, I don't think Kristen Cole is gonna be a good hand. Yeah. Like a better hand would actually be Emmond. I'm not gonna lie, even though he has this weird mummy kink. Yeah, because he was with some talking about like Daemon, and also the parallels between Aemon and Daemon is very interesting because Aemon is in this like brothel and he's like talking to this prostitute, and it's interesting because Daemon also had that kind of like thing where he would go to prostitutes and build relationships with prostitutes. There's a lot of similarities between them two. And Emmond talking to the woman was like, I feel like I was a target. I feel really bad that I did that to Jacaerys and stuff like that. But it seems like Daemon is actually scared of me.
That's it.
And I feel like they're gonna have a head-to-head at some point.
They had an interesting vulnerable moment. Like even when Aemon was there, not only is he just skin out naked, he's not got his eye patch on, and he's literally just in the prostitute's lap. She's trying to do her job, if you get what I mean. But he's like, no, not that. I just want to lay. Literally, he's paying her by the hour or whatever, and he's just there just to talk to her, bro.
But this is a further reason why Alison is a shit mum.
Yeah, worst mother ever.
Why are kids having to go and get mummy vibes from this other woman? Like, it's actually peak.
It's crazy.
But yeah, so those are kind of like my predictions. I feel like Rhaenyra is just going to do what she has to do, like single mum vibes. She's just going to do what she has to do. Also, she has twins too.
True. Forgot about those twins. My prediction, I've just remembered now, Rhaenyra is going to be like, you know what? You've sent someone to try and kill me, and I wasn't even involved. All right, she's going to raise the stakes. She is going to be a back and forth now, I think, for the rest of the season. Bearing in mind, we've not read the books. We don't know what I've won. But from my prediction of what we've seen, Rhaenyra is going to do another strike on their castle. Whether she'll send a dragon to burn people up, whether she'll send another assassin, we don't know. But it's like a Cold War right now. Yeah. But it's going to be full conflict.
It's going to be. And Aegon, especially like with how he's feeling now, he's going to wage some real war.
1,000%.
Like he's going to wage some real war. And actually, I don't think he's going to inflict enough fear on the people. And I think Rhaenyra, if she's smart, which she is going to flip it. Like, I think she's really going to flip it as well. But but still Team Black.
Still Team Black.
I'm still on Rhaenyra's side. And
we're here for it.
Especially because Kristen now is the Hand of the King.
He's the one that said to kill Rhaenyra.
That's so dead.
You know what I mean?
So dead. He's actually obsessed with Rhaenyra. Like, I've come back to what we said in the previous episode. He's genuinely obsessed with her. Like, get a life.
That's it.
Like, get a fucking life. I think he's genuinely obsessed with her. He's jealous. He's envious. Like, he's fucking hot. Don't get me wrong. He can still get it. But he's actually jarring. Like, he's so annoying. And now he's the Hand of the King. Jesus Christ. Like,
we don't know what's going to happen.
I can't be Team Green for a hot minute.
But team, that's been our episode of episode 2 review. Once again, like, comment, subscribe. Tell us what you liked. Tell us what you didn't like. And it's been Jay and Dre.
Yeah, guys. We'll see you in the next episode.